And we are back with another.
Little old podcast from Pasadena.
That's correct. Those of you who have been following us here on our YouTube podcast, know that we talk about all topics Pasadena related, and even if they have a nexus to Pasadena, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and I think we have some good stuff for you today. Be sure to also check out our TikToks because we talk a lot about these same things while giving like more detailed kind of video blogs of our adventures throughout these cultural and historic sites around town and throughout Los Angeles County. Again, especially if they have a nexus to Pasadena and to our wonderful, rich history and the arts and culture of this part of the San Gabriel Valley.
And we went to one of them today.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of the TikTok, because we did do a video of, we went today to the Museum of Neon Art in Glendale. Mona. Mona. We had never been before. It's a little bit small, but it was such a cool museum because they had neon, I don't know what you call them, artifacts, like signs,
neon signs.
From dating all the way back to the 20s, which is when they started to use neon. And I learned that neon is an element. I didn't know that before.
Yeah. For those of you who are wondering, neon is a gas. And there are several gases that they use from the periodic table to create neon, the glowing lights that you see in these neon signs. I never heard of this museum. It is kind of one of the kind of obscure, lesser known museums when people talk about the big museums in LA County, LACMA,
I think because it's new. It's like a brand new museum.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Alyse and I, we kind of have our own list of like our favorite museums in LA County that we like to go to. The Norton Simon, the Museum of Death in Hollywood is a good one to go to.
That was one of the best.
Yeah, it's a pretty righteous museum. Yeah. But I was impressed with
the Mona was really cool. Yeah. And what drew us to it to begin with was there's a famous train store in Pasadena, the Whistle Stop. What is it?
Yes, it was on East Colorado Boulevard.
Stop train shop, I think. And they have the coolest sign outside. It has a train, and I think does it move?
I think the wheels might have turned a little bit.
Yeah. And so that train store is moving. I don't know
It's moving, not closing. I thought it was closing down. But
they're not closing. Okay, they're moving.
It's good to know.
But the owner had that sign designated as a historic landmark.
Smart owner.
Yeah. So
good thinking ahead.
So they're trying to get it. I think it's like in negotiations. They're trying to bring it to the Museum of Neon Art because he didn't think that he would be able to take it to the new place he was going. I have loved that train. Like every time I pass that train sign, I've always wanted to take a picture of it. It's one of the classic Pasadena neon signs.
For sure. And for those of us from Pasadena, when you go to the Museum of Neon Art, it's right there on Brand across from the Americana. You're going to see some signs that especially from our age or from our era, you will remember some of these places. For instance, out in front, they have the old Zinke's shoe repair sign, which I believe used to be down there next to the old UA Marketplace Theater, not UA Marketplace, the UA Pasadena, the singleplex in Playhouse Village. When Zinke's was down there. Now Zinke's is on North Lake, but that sign was down there. So you'll see that sign out in front of the Museum of Neon Art. And then inside the museum, a couple of other items from the Pasadena history.
Yeah, right when you walk into the lobby, their counter where they sell you the tickets, you look beneath it and they have the Hillcrest Laundry.
Yes.
Hillcrest, I think it is Hillcrest Laundry, and that was from Pasadena. You remembered seeing it.
Yes, that was from Pasadena, and there was another sign inside the main gallery, which was also from an old Pasadena business. It's almost like when you go to Heritage Square and you see some of those old historic, the old church that used to be in Pasadena, and there's a couple of homes that were from Pasadena that were moved there. Again, Pasadena is the second oldest suburb in Los Angeles County. A lot of history. You're going to see a lot of stuff in many museums throughout not just the greater Pasadena area, but in parts of Los Angeles, and you'll see stuff from Pasadena, you know.
So my highlight though was inside the museum, the Lincoln Market sign. And this blew my mind that the sign is from the 1920s. And I would never picture neon from the 20s. So I can just imagine that when they installed this Lincoln Market sign, and it's very ornamental also to fit the 1920s style of the Lincoln Market that was there. They removed it to put in the 210 freeway.
Yes.
But in the 20s, it was a very elaborate, I think they had like groceries, flowers. It was like, I think like L-shaped. And where was it? 279 North Fair Oaks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This is kind of right there near where, kind of maybe like where Walnut Street and Fair Oaks would be today in our old Pasadena neighborhood. Again, if you go down to that neighborhood today, you'll see the that large new residential complex kind of that surrounds a portion of the old Parsons campus. That whole area historically was moved in, including Parsons, and you know where they put in the freeway north of there.
Yeah.
A whole old series of neighborhoods were destroyed to make way for these places. Yeah. And if you go there today, even inside that residential complex, you will see a kind of a museum placard display, series of displays where they talk about this old neighborhood that used to be there, and a little bit about the history of Pasadena during that time period, and the different, you know, ethnic groups that lived in that kind of that part of town. So some, you know, interesting history, interesting Pasadena stuff at this Museum of Neon Art.
Yeah.
If you happen to be in the you know, Pasadena, Glendale area, and you ever get a chance, go down there. It's on brand. As I said, it's right across the street from the Americana. There's easy parking in the back. It's definitely worth the visit. Only cost $10, right, to get in. You know.
Yeah, pretty cheap. It was really cool museum.
That's cool.
Definitely
it's
worth
pretty
it.
Legit, yeah.
Where they had a little in the very back. They had a plasma section. You could hear it, like zzz. It was really.
It's very sci-fi, and you'll see some, you know, kind of weird plasma balls and interesting stuff. So
before we change topics, I need to say I'm kind of sad that the train store is leaving Pasadena.
Yeah, it was a cool store.
It was the coolest store, and you know, I feel like you know, Bobby Bacala would really love from The Sopranos.
Yes, he had a train set, if you recall.
He would be really into the story of Bobby Bacala.
Serious, yes.
Rest in peace, Bobby Bacala. You would really love the whistle stop train.
Yeah. But just didn't like ruin part of the TV show for me when you said rest in peace, Bobby Bacala.
No.
Okay.
Sopranos is done.
Right. Okay, but I haven't seen the rest of it.
Yeah, I know you haven't seen the rest of it, but you know, The Sopranos is done. It's in mourning. So.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think what guy, usually guys, boys, didn't have a toy train set when they were growing up, and so I used to go to that store too, and I would look at, you know, some of the model trains and stuff in there, and I even think I went in a couple of times when I was on duty when I was a cop, you know, and chatted with the people there. Yeah. Cool store. Sad to see it go. You know, it's always kind of sad when we see a old prominent store in Pasadena that leaves. It kind of reminded me, you know, I'm a numismatist, and we had that Universal Coin Gallery down on Walnut that closed for a while when the owner, Bob Daig, passed away. I believe earlier this year, or was it late last year, I believe. He was a retired Pasadena PD lieutenant who owned and operated this coin store, and I was really bummed when it closed down. It was right there on Walnut. But Alyse and I drove past the other day and saw that they're reopening. So maybe Steve, who was the other guy that worked there, maybe he's going to help bring it back, and we will see that coin store back in operation there on Walnut, because, you know,
I like to see all these little unique stores, and you know, the train store, the coin store, it's better than just going to like a big, you know, Walmart or Target or something. So history.
Boy,
have we got some history?
We got some stuff for you guys today.
So I have to say, If you had asked us several weeks ago, what is the oldest building or what is the oldest structure, the oldest home in Pasadena, we would not be able to tell you.
Well,
I
think Alyse and I would have made some educated guess. I might have thrown out, maybe the Castle Green, maybe
we would have been wrong.
Maybe, one of those old historic homes off of Alyse or, Mayland Streets down off Orange Grove. We still would have been wrong.
Yeah.
And in fact, had we said any structure that we believed was in existence from even, say, the Civil War, if there was one here, we would have been wrong.
Yeah, because I would have guessed somewhere in Old Town, like maybe one of those old buildings there.
Well, first, let's give them some foundation. Yeah. So first of all, the city of Pasadena was officially founded, incorporated as a city in 1886. However, the city's founding fathers got together and formed what would become Pasadena in 1874. Okay. So you got to figure.
But they were first the Indiana colony.
Right. They were the Indiana colony. So you got to figure by at least 1874, there was a settlement here. Now, prior, it was the Rancho San Pasqual. And I think at that time before that, Benjamin D. Wilson and one other guy had purchased, this is like shortly, maybe during the Civil War period of the 1850s, from Eulalia Perez Guillen, I believe, that matriarch who did own this tract from her military husband in these Spanish and then Mexican period.
Well, I thought it was someone had defaulted on a loan, so then it went to Griffin and Wilson.
Right. So if you're going to go back that far and say this is like the U.S.-Mexican War period, 1846, 1848, you're getting a little warmer. Am I correct?
Yes.
How old is the oldest structure?
So the oldest structure, not just house, but the oldest structure in Pasadena is older than Pasadena. It is older than the Indiana colony. It is from 1840, the James Craig Adobe.
Yes, the James Craig. Keep in mind, that's older, by the way, that's older than the U.S.-Mexican War from 1846. So when this structure was built in 1840, let's see, Civil War hadn't happened yet. I don't even think anybody really knew who Abraham Lincoln was. He may have been like a young politician.
California was not a state.
California wasn't a state, and the Republic of Texas was still its own country at the time. So let's start there. That's how far back this Adobe, this house, this structure that is on Pasadena property today. Like you can go see where it is.
Yeah, and the thing that blew my mind, it was like right down the street from me, not to like in our neighborhood, basically. Yeah, basically in our neighborhood. Not where you would think it is. What is it? Right off of Villa, because
it's on Monte Vista.
It's on Monte Vista. But get this. It had a circular driveway because it was a giant ranch.
Yeah, it's a ranch.
Right? Yeah. The circular driveway went all the way down to Villa. So that's where the property started. Just to give you like an idea of where
if you know where the Adobe is, and then you can picture Villa. I mean, quarter mile maybe, or just less than a quarter mile. Yeah. So it's a big ranch. It's a big estate in 1840.
So 1840, it was a 2-room Adobe. And what I was going to say earlier is, this is the oldest one in Pasadena. South Pasadena, I believe, has an Adobe, and then there's the one in Arcadia over by Lucky Baldwin's, that Adobe over there. So there are some old ones. They are older than the one in Pasadena, but as far as Pasadena goes, this is the oldest one. Built in 1840 with the 2 rooms. But James Craig, who owned this Adobe, he sort of enlarged it in 1869 and then in the 70s, I believe he added even more onto it.
Yes, and by this time, of course, he would have known and met who would be the founders of the city of Pasadena.
He came sorry, in 1869, this was 5 years before
Right.
the Indiana colony.
Yeah.
He came here and had this property.
Craig Avenue is a street in Pasadena today named after him. It's not far from there. It's like it actually runs through what would have been his ranch at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had a name. It was called the Hermitage.
The Hermitage.
Very fancy.
Very like East Coast. I'm sure it came from somewhere back east.
Yeah. So Craig was very wealthy. You know, he had a ton of land here. He was into like water.
He also grew. He's a farmer too, right?
He was a farmer, but like
Citrus.
he was in control of some of the water systems. But yeah, he did grow citrus. And he had olive oil. I read one place which is very questionable. It was the first olive oil in Pasadena.
It could have been
From the James. I mean, yeah, it could have been, but I don't know. Who's to say? I'm sure someone has made olive oil before then.
Yeah. Well, there's that place in Siramandu that makes the jams and the olive oils and stuff.
Yeah, they made olive oil there.
Too,
yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I mean, look, oranges, citrus was the big crop of Pasadena. If we had an official fruit, it'd be an orange. And obviously that was something that he would have grown along with many other farmers in that time period in this region would have been growing orange. They had orange groves everywhere. So I'm sure he knew Eulalia Perezgi and interacted with her on one or more occasions, probably. So yeah, that's an interesting little tidbit. Today, for those of you who are interested in this, the Craig Adobe, you can go to the address where it is.
It's really hard to see.
It is surrounded by very high bushes. You can't actually see the house from the street. Maybe you stood, if you walked up to the gate and then you looked in, you might be able to catch a glimpse of it. I got a feeling that whoever the current owners are, they're like really private about it.
Yeah.
I think Alyse looked online. I don't even think there are any tours.
You would have better luck looking online for pictures because in the past it has opened every so often for tours. I think led by like Pasadena Heritage or something like that. So you can see pictures, some pictures of the inside online, and yeah, it's probably the best look that you're gonna get. Better than looking at it from the street.
Yeah.
But it's really cool because that Adobe, the walls are 2 feet thick, like to keep in. And I remember reading a comment by someone who said they lived there as a kid, and they said it just always stayed cool in the summer because the walls were so thick there.
And that's what you have to do. I mean, obviously this place gets hot in the summertime, still does. It's hot right now.
Yeah.
And they would not have had air conditioning or that we have today, obviously. And you had to find ways to keep your Adobes cool. So again, oldest extant structure in Pasadena. Now, when you move out to Los Angeles, it falls down to like in the top 50 oldest structures.
I mean, it's up there. It's just
up
not
there.
The
I mean, obviously, the city of Los Angeles is older. It goes back to the 1780s, and so they're going to have a lot of really old stuff in Los Angeles. At least within 50 places older than this Adobe.
But like the one by Olvera Street. I think that one's much older.
Yeah, that building's a lot older. I think it was Fremont's headquarters during the war. That Adobe there. The Mexican War. That war is going back. This is if in case you were interested, like I said, if you'd asked Alyse and I which was the oldest extant structure in Pasadena, we would not have known about the Craig Adobe until this recently.
Blowing my mind that it's literally right down the street. Oldest, and I never even knew that there was an Adobe. I mean, houses of Adobe, but an Adobe that old, I never would have known.
1840.
Yeah.
So go look it up.
I just hope that they do a tour through it sometime soon because I am dying to see the inside of
that'd be pretty cool. That'd be pretty cool to see it, to be honest. Yeah. So what's Jeff? Any rants today? Any rants?
I mean,
because we can't have one of these episodes without at least having a rant.
How about some ridiculous stories? Can
here goes.
Should we? We could talk about some lore.
Lore? Yeah, you know what? There's a lot of lore in Pasadena. We were just, she and I were talking about some of the, I guess every city in America, whether it's Salem in Massachusetts or New York City or wherever you're gonna go, they have their lore, their legends, their apocryphal tales. In Pasadena, and when we say Pasadena, we mean Pasadena / Altadena. We consider that the greater Pasadena area is all part of Pasadena at one time. But yeah, we actually have our own little kind of lore.
Quite a few.
Our apocryphal legends and horror tales. But one of the ones we were talking about, I think Alyse wanted to bring up on this episode, was Gravity Hill.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but ours isn't the only Gravity Hill. Like, I guess there are several places around the county and or country that have their own versions of this. And so, why don't you tell us what the lore is, what the mythos about a Gravity Hill is?
Like, because we were talking about this the other day, and I told you, like, how I remembered it. So keep in mind, I haven't, like, researched anything about this Gravity Hill lore. This is my story, straight from my memory.
Okay.
Like, things that I've heard over the years as a Pasadenan about Gravity Hill.
Okay, first of all, let's just tell everybody where this place is. Okay,
yeah.
So first of all, it's at 1054 Loma Alta Drive. Okay, it is in Altadena. It's one of the northernmost east-west streets in the greater Pasadena area, way up near the top of Altadena, almost till you get to the hillsides, the mountains there. So that's the address, 1054 Loma Alta Drive. You can go look it up, drive there if you want. But so tell us what happens, supposedly, when you go to a Gravity Hill place.
I don't know about a Gravity Hill place. All I know is this lore about Pasadena. Gravity Hill. Way back in the day.
Here's the horror story.
Way back in the day. The 50s? The 60s? We don't know. There's a big question mark. But it's way back in the day. And there's a bus of kids or a big car of kids. Nobody knows. And they're going up the hill. And horrible accident. They go flying down the hill. They all die. All the kids die. So now if you drive up the street and you are going up and you put your car in neutral, you will not fall down the hill because the spirits,
the ghostly children,
the spirits of these little children will come and use their tiny little fingers to push your car up the hill. And if you test this out, I have heard.
This is the lore, this is the legend.
Pasadenans, they will test this out. They put their car into neutral and it doesn't go down the hill. They just stay there, and when they come out and they look at the back of their car later, tiny little fingerprints on the back of their car.
I guess your car has to be dusty for this to really take effect. So don't get your car washed for a few days before you go put this into.
You can do whatever, because you know what? I think that ghosts leave some little, like, ghost
or have your little fingerprint dust
like
kit so you can
dust that they leave behind.
Okay. So let's tell you what it really is. Okay. First of all, I've never heard that bus story. I don't know where Alyse got that bus crash tale. Like it's like a Wes Craven horror film.
I told you I didn't even look it up. This is just like from my memories of, like, I don't know, PHS.
Right. All right. So if you were to go to 1054 Loma Alta Drive today, you would notice that there really isn't a line of sight horizon on which, as well as the surrounding scenery, creates an optical illusion. Okay, because of that lack of horizon line when you're there, when you do put your car in neutral, make sure you do this safely when there's no one around and there's no traffic. Your car will appear to roll uphill. You're actually going downhill. It's a slight downhill grade, but again, just because of the optical illusion of the surrounding area, you are actually going downhill. So not to ruin the lore and the fantasy for everybody, but that's Gravity Hill. It's in Altadena.
I know they do have Gravity Hills in other places where it has that optical illusion where it seems like you're going uphill.
Right. And that's just one of several.
Could be those children, though.
Could be. You never know. That's just one of several Pasadena lore stories. A very famous one that still kind of captures the imagination today is the Devil's Gate. Now, for those of you who are familiar with Pasadena and Altadena, you know that there is a reservoir, a dam.
That is a portal to hell.
Okay. If you were to, If you were to drive on Woodbury Road, headed west toward La Cañada, Flint Ridge, once you pass Windsor Avenue and you were to look to the right off, you will see the area, which is all part of the Hahamungna Watershed Park. That is where the reservoir and the dam, where the Devil's Gate, it's called the Devil's Gate Dam, because supposedly there was I can't even say this with a straight face, but there was a portal to hell. Now, this portal to hell was, alleged by many prominent weirdos in Pasadena, because we've had our share of weirdos.
We have.
One of them was a scientific guy from Caltech. And one of them was...
he blew up his house.
The guy that was also buddies with L. Ron Hubbard.
Yeah.
These guys also believed that this was a portal to hell, and they would have like ceremonies down near this. There's a gate. There's actually an entranceway, a dark, ghostly, part of the construction. I don't know. Was this like a WPA project?
Okay, do we need to go here? Because now I am intrigued. What do you mean? What do you mean?
You'll find graffiti, and you'll see, and look, these people thought that it was, and they would have ceremonies.
Okay.
And
I have a question though. Is this the Enchanted Forest? Because that's the other Pasadena lore. I've heard about the Enchanted Forest at the very top, like up in the mountains. Is that the Enchanted Forest?
No, that's a separate.
Okay, where's the Enchanted Forest? The top of Lake?
That's the one way up there by Lake. Okay, that's it's up in Altadena.
Because that's haunted too.
Yeah. Okay, so these are Pasadena lore, Pasadena Altadena, crazy legends and lore.
But stories. I have heard haunting stories about the Enchanted Forest.
Right. Maybe there's fairies running around, or who knows what's going on up there. But yeah, definitely Devil's Gate. I'm sure there are some like devil worshippers and weird people today that believe that there is a portal to hell in the area of the Devil's Gate Dam. Who knows if the early Native Americans had anything to do with developing that lore. But yeah.
Nah, I thought I remembered that it was just like a meeting place or something like that for the indigenous people back in the day.
Right. I mean, you can judge for yourself. You can go there.
Crazy stories.
Yeah, I mean, if you are so like witchy inclined, or you believe in all that stuff, I mean, you can go visit the area of Devil's Gate Dam today. You can hike up the Arroyo Seco. There's still an Indian trail, a 1,000-year-old Indian trail that it still exists. It goes up there along West hike. Drive, and it keeps going past the golf course there, and you can actually hike that all the way up to the area of the Devil's Gate. So,
yeah. But as far as the portal to hell, that's not here. That's in DC, probably.
Oh, right, smart advance. Yeah. So again, Devil's Gate, Gravity Hill, the Enchanted Forest or the Haunted Forest. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of that area, Eaton Canyon, I read they are due July this month to start trucking out all of that gross fire sediment from Eaton Canyon.
Good.
So we should start to see a bunch of big trucks doing their dump truck stuff.
Okay, yeah. So keep your eyes out for that.
Yeah.
Maybe in a year or two, Eaton Canyon will be open again for hikers and campers and stuff. Yeah. What else?
I don't know, but all of this rebuilding process is taking the longest time.
It is, but there are, if you would have go walk up Allen and cut across Mendocino, you'll see a lot of new houses that are just completed, under construction. So they are rebuilding from the Eaton fire.
Yeah.
It's just going to take a long time. That's all.
I guess my rant. Okay, here's my rant. That the city took so long to issue permits for people to start building.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, there's some lawsuits involved, and there's a lot of stuff going on. So things are going to move at a little slower pace as they're rebuilding Altadena and the Palisades area. Obviously, a lot of political stuff, a lot of litigation. So if this was China, I mean, it would already be rebuilt already. We'd see skyscrapers and futuristic bullet trains going through there. But again, when you live in a regime like that, I guess you can do anything you want, fast and easy. But this is a democracy, and things moving a little slowly here with again, justice and litigation and, you know, lawsuits and whatnot. So I guess that was our rant. Is that our rant?
No,
That
that was your rant. I was ranting about the city taking so long to get permits.
Okay, well, yeah.
Like, you would think
it was
that
a
they
joint
would want
rant.
people to start building their homes faster.
Yeah, that's true. What else do you have for us today on this episode?
I mean, we're at like 30 minutes already. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So anyway, I mean, I hope you guys are enjoying these podcast episodes. It's getting like super hot out there, and
I know.
You know, we're trying to think of like different locations for us to film these.
Yeah, notice we are not in the she shed right now. We are.
Yes, because it's really very hot out there.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, stick with us. There'll be some more interesting stories and history and tidbits next week, and we'll be back with another
little old podcast episode from Pasadena.